Good evening and thank you for spending your Sunday evening with us. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. Now, dangerous heat continues to affect people throughout Arkansas. So meteorologist Corrales Ortiz was going to join us here at the top. Corrales, I just want to know if there's any hope of relief going on.
Hi.
Yeah, hey, thanks for joining us. I knew you were here.
I
We were
know.
kind of just waiting for that reveal.
Yeah.
I mean, the big reveal is that relief is on the way, right?
We do later this week, but we still have to get through these next few days. I know like I mentioned, we're sounding like a broken record. It's been very hot.
Yes,
every day.
definitely hot.
Yeah, so here are actually a few stats. So 102 was our high for today. This actually ties it for a three-way tie for the hottest day so far of the season, all of which have been in July. It's the 12th day where Little Rock has hit 100 degrees or more since at least June 22nd, when we first started to see 100-degree days for the year. So yeah, it's been abnormally warm for much of the month on top of that, and we still have a few days to get through. It's still 98 degrees this evening. We are not seeing much relief in terms of any breezes. It's still a little bit muggy out there. And as we go into the overnight hours, our nights have been just as warm, sitting anywhere from low 80s to upper 70s with mostly clear skies expected for tonight. So here's a look at those weather headlines. So yeah, a few more 100-degree days in store. Rain chances will be picking up later this week with relief on the way as well. So more details in the forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Carlos. Definitely holding on to that relief coming up. But it's not just Arkansas bearing the brutal heat right now. Cities across the country and around the world are facing unusually high temperatures. Extreme heat conditions can be dangerous and actually cause hundreds of deaths every year. Elise Preston has the report.
It's a little bit hot, honestly.
From Massachusetts to Arizona,
Would you like any cold water?
Yes, I'd love some.
millions of Americans are battling intense heat this week, with many under excessive heat warnings and heat advisories. A Pennsylvania pool is running on shorter hours this weekend, in part to protect the staff from the heat.
We just didn't feel it was safe to have them working long hours under such hot conditions.
In Boston, the dangerous forecast contributed to postponing Sunday's triathlon.
I was definitely disappointed. All of that training, and we were so looking forward to it.
Nationwide, designated cooling centers are available to folks trying to get a break. But a 2021 study published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health looked at 25 cities with these centers and found that about 89% of people over 65 did not have walkable access. Researchers fear the number of older adults at risk could be higher since so many are not mobile.
And we want them to come here and alleviate heat stress. Even just a few hours of air conditioning a day can really alleviate heat stress.
Which is life-saving.
Yes, definitely.
In New York City, the Cavello Center is providing relief and fellowship for older adults. 81-year-old Jenny Rodriguez is encouraging her neighbors to stop in.
There are so many seniors across the country at risk of heat stroke and heat illness because they don't have anywhere cool to go to.
I always tell people that I know, even people in my building, come to the senior center. We have air conditioning there every single day. We sing, we dance, we enjoy ourselves. Why are you stuck in the house?
Doctors say you should watch yourself and everyone around you if you experience symptoms like muscle pain, nausea, and fatigue for more than an hour. Seek medical attention. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Thank you, Elise. And a lot of people are actually braving the heat to head out to open houses. So we're going to turn now to Realtor Safety. As more people head to these open houses to look for their potential future home, realtors are making sure that they're not setting themselves up for danger. THV 11's Frederick Price shows us how the two are protecting themselves.
Yeah, realtors say they're starting to see a shift in the housing market, which means more people are coming to open houses. That being said, some are refreshing their safety precautions.
Kay Chambers has been a realtor for 2 years. She says the shift in the market in part is because of the interest rate hike.
Houses are staying on the market just a little bit more.
And that's not keeping future home buyers from stopping by.
It's definitely more people than last summer.
Aside from showing off houses on the market,
safety is just a huge factor in what we do as real estate agents.
One of the first things she says her company teaches realtors about
is making sure that you get everyone to sign in, making sure that you know where all your exits are, that you don't have any open windows.
Erica Day is a realtor with Cry Like Realtors. She tells me she's adopted a buddy system.
I will bring someone with me, whether it's another realtor, my husband, my brother. I will always let somebody know I'm there.
She'll even go a step further and see if people who live in the neighborhood can help.
I knock at the neighbor's door and be like, I'm hosting an open house here tomorrow. Can you kind of pay attention, keep an eye on me?
Staying safe isn't just a priority for her. Her company meets weekly to remind fellow realtors what precautions they should be taking. Fortunately, both women tell me they've never been in harm's way.
Always follow your instinct, your gut feeling. If your gut feeling tell you it ain't right, it ain't right.
And that's all thanks to some careful training from their respective companies.
We're making it much harder for people to consider doing anything that might be something that could harm us.
In Little Rock, Frederick Price, THV 11 News.
The Beverly Carter Foundation offers more tips and tricks on how realtors can stay safe. And we'll have that information on our website at thv11.com.
The global monkeypox outbreak represents a public health emergency of international concern.
Monkeypox is now officially a global emergency. That's according to the World Health Organization. A global emergency is the highest level of alert for the WHO, but that label doesn't necessarily mean a disease is easy to get. Arkansas has seen a few cases of monkeypox, but it's important to remember that the state's top doctor still considers COVID-19 their top priority. So monkeypox, it's a bit harder to get. It requires close contact with someone who is sick, specifically direct contact with the infection. It can also be carried on fabrics like clothes, towels, or bedding. Symptoms of monkeypox include rash, fever, headache, muscle ache, and fatigue. If you think that you're showing any of these symptoms, you're asked to call your doctor for testing. Happening tomorrow in Garland County, a capital murder trial is set to begin. Kayvon Ward is accused of killing a Hot Springs police officer back in 2020. Jury selection took nearly all of last week, but eventually all 12 jurors were selected. The screening process was detailed. Jurors were asked what they think of the death penalty and whether or not they support it. Kayvon Ward is charged with capital murder, which means in Arkansas that there are only two punishment options: life without parole or the death penalty. Our Ian Russell will be in Hot Springs tomorrow, continuing to follow this trial. And you can find the latest on air and online at thv11.com. Then coming up on Tuesday here at THV11, we're going to take a closer look at an unsolved case out of Faulkner County. 4 years ago, an 18-year-old Jody Loring was shot and killed getting into his own car in Conway. His mother has not stopped fighting to bring her son's killer to justice and hopes that she can finally have her questions answered.
Because it wasn't fair that he was robbed of his life at an early age. I mean, finishing school on the 20th and 4 days later, not even having a chance to breathe after graduation.
Tuesday night at 10, THV11's Ashley Godwin looks into the unsolved murder of Jody Loring and what could help bring this case to a close. And a heads up tonight, if your small business is on social media, you might want to be careful. One Conway business owner clicked on a link recently and now she's locked out of her account. THV11's Brooke Buckner has the story.
Your account has been disabled. That's the message Tiffany Garrettson gets every time she tries to log into her Facebook account. She says ever since she clicked on a link in an email 5 weeks ago, things haven't been the same.
When I clicked this link, it gave the hackers access into my personal Facebook account where they proceeded to post a video that violated community standards. From here, that got my personal account disabled within 3 minutes. And because I had my business accounts linked to my personal account, my business accounts were also disabled.
Now, more than a month later, Garrettson's without Instagram and Facebook, and she says social media is her #1 tool to promote her business to a tea boutique.
Our sales have definitely decreased significantly, and we're afraid if this goes on for 6 months, it could really hurt us going into the holiday season.
She says sales decreased about 50% in the last 5 weeks, and she's tried getting a hold of Facebook to get her accounts back.
It's just a big waiting game.
Kara Carlin with the Better Business Bureau says there are a few things you can do to prevent hackers from getting your account information.
Never provide your personal information unless you can 100% verify the source. Use different passwords and secure passwords for each of your accounts. The single most important piece of advice that we can share in this regard is to enable multi-factor authentication.
Save your videos, save your pictures, print them, put them on a Google Drive or just somewhere that's not Facebook, because at the end of the day, you don't own your identity online.
In Conway, Brooke Buckner, THV 11 News.
All right, still ahead. Take me out to the ball game and get me a slice of pizza. Why the All-American Frank took a back seat at the ballpark tonight. Coming up in about 7 minutes.
And it's been another hot one this weekend, but we do have some relief in the horizon. I'll let you know what we can expect as we get towards the end of the week. That includes rain chances and some cooler temperatures.